Snapcaster Mage is not replaceable in this deck. You can budget Scalding Tarns. You can budget, you know, other fetch lands. You can even play Shivan Reefs over fetch lands. Don't budget Snapcaster Mages. This deck is terrible without Snapcaster Mage. Play something else instead. In the nicest way possible. Your deck will be so much worse that I would not play it. You budget Wizard Lightning. Battle of Wits. Kogil, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Hot take. Blue-Red Prowess Wizard should also have Snapcaster Mage in it. Bye, friend. I assume this Delver is not long for this world. Better 5-0. Never expect to 5-0 anything. Never expect to go undefeated. Be happy when you do, but never expect it. Sister Terescanta. Collective Brutality. Okay. Land. Ding. Happily shock that in. Expected 05 and be happy with the outcome. That's a good suggestion. Definitely in the market to Stone Rain them, I think. They're like almost certainly have a bunch of removal spells in their hand, so this thing's just gonna die, so might as well get some value out of it. Everett SWK, thank you for the 2-month resub there. I appreciate that, and welcome back. Yeah, I'm pretty confident the conclusion at the end of that video was play some Snapcaster Mages. If you're going to play the card Steam Vents in Modern, it should probably be paired with Snapcaster Mage. Nah, don't play Storm. Don't do that. Did Moto just lag? What just happened there? They discarded a Stomping Ground. They discarded a Stomping Ground. Huh. How do you balance that being results-oriented when focusing on changes, trying to understand the power level deck? It's a mixture of experience. It's just experience and practice. There aren't cut and dry solutions like cut to the front of being experienced. No, they've got an Overgrown Tomb too. They must just be on like a full 4-color deck, huh? In. I think I'm supposed to bottom that. Traverse Shadow? No, they've got 2 Think Twices in their bin. I think there's some kind of weird control deck. Whoa, that connected. That's weird. Okay. So, Vampiric Link doesn't give lifelink. It says when this deals damage, you gain that life. So they've effectively removed my Delver of Secrets. It was like they've like kind of cast pacifism. It gives it when this deals damage, you gain that much life. So when this deals damage, my opponent gains life. Yeah, I can respond to the trigger by killing them. That is correct. I can also stifle this trigger with Bird. We're being out memed, chat. Magma Spray's in the sideboard, looking real good. No, the enchantment does not fall off Delver when it flips. Still the same card. Doesn't exile and leave play. What a scrub, had to read that one, right? Alright. Alright. You're saying there's a chance. Nope. Flip Planeswalkers explicitly used to exile and come back. That's kind of a combo. Evershriek plus Rancor is kind of a combo. Alright, we're gonna... Oh, they're just casting another one. Sure? Sure? I'm just holding on to this for now. Alright. Okay, just take this hit. It's only 2. If I block, we trade, but they gain 3 from my Insectile hitting it. Our opponent's a big fan of 5-mana Windrake, right? Yeah, you can stifle the Everstrike being brought back to play. That is a legal play. Yeah, no blocks. So they're dead to a burn spell. Oh, they were just dead if I flashed in my Obstructionist, right? They flipped a lightning bolt earlier too. Chat, I need an adult. Chat, I need an adult. They had no cards in hand for reference. Is Remand good here? Yeah, they have Think Twice, and they have 5-mana spells. We lost to 5-mana Windrakes. We definitely did. One of the great things about Magic is that, you know, sometimes you don't draw any spells, and then you lose to 5-mana Windrakes. Everstrike is a spirit. Rattle Chains gives it flash. That's true. We do get to look at their deck with Surgical. There's value in that. Yeah, I think Surgical's great here. They have Flame Wake, and they have that other bird that comes back, so... Yeah, it's the first match of this league. It was first game of the first match. I mean, we've lost plenty of games. Like, that's why you play best of threes in Magic. Magic has an absurd amount of variance in it. Like, the resource variance in Magic compared to other games is just, like, very high. Towards the OP's deck for me Monday. Maybe. No. Magic Online basically doesn't consider anything while matchmaking. Sure. Discarded Flamewake Island. Man, that is some starting mana right there. That is some starting mana right there. I'm gonna go ahead and fire up this other Mutavault here. I'm not gonna fire off this bolt, I don't think. I think I'm gonna hold it up. They showed us Izzet Charmant and Collective Brutality, and I want to be able to fire this bolt off to protect my Soul-Scar Mage if I need to. For Black-White Repeater, thank you, Orcish Veteran, I appreciate it. Good reminder to everybody, for any 100 bits you cheer or $1 you donate, you can always bump decks in the queue. People that support my content dictate what we see and when we see it. Sure. I wonder if they have Fiery Temper. Attack for 3 here. Probably end step. Snap bolt them. Untap. Smash for a bunch. So Snap bolt puts them to 7, and then we'll have lethal in play. That Constrictor is their Everstrike enabler, and that's a weird sentence right there. It is kind of a weird sentence. Alright, we got our surgical extraction, chat. We get to take a look-see-poo at what's going on over there. Well, it looks like our opponent's deck is mulligan to 4. Got the surgical mission accomplished. Finding out what they're playing is more important than winning. You kids. This card's even got sweet artwork. Maybe they mulligan to 4 intentionally to conceal the technology. They don't want to 5-0 and get published. I'm just snapping up tier. I'm just going to pass the turn. I don't think it's worth 1 point of damage. Probably snap up at end step. There's a little bit of tension between, like, wanting to play your cards proactively and wanting to like hold up some interaction, but I think it's fine. Eventually, they'll discard the hand size. Get them in the market for just shock. Listen, chat. I've got 4 more matches in this league and 5 matches of Mardu Pyromancer to play today. Sorry to tell you, but we need to kill them dead. $500 bits if we surgical then. Dang it! They know my secret. I do things for money. How'd the other leagues go? We went 3-2 with Grixis Fairies, and we went 3-2 with Grixis Fairies, and we went 2-3 with Naya Control. So far better than yesterday went to set the bar low. $600 bits if we surgical our own lightning. Some people just want to watch the world burn. Yep, and the line was cut a couple of times. Couple 2-3. All right, I want the record to reflect that I'm spending a lethal lightning bolt on this rattle chains so I can get $5 for surgicaling their deck, okay? I want the record to reflect that I am a man of the people. And I am the opposite of Wizards of the Coast. I am giving you the data you crave. No! They work for Wizards! They're hiding the technology, chat! No! Why? Why must you be so data stingy? No! They must be a WotC employee. Can't let the secrets out. Can't let the secrets out. Stands a little land heavy, but Soul-Scar on 1, I think it's hard to pass up. Yes, Drew. You're welcome to put your bits towards whichever deck you'd like in the queue. Y'all ready for the naturals? Y'all ready for the naturals into Wormcoil or Karn here? At least they didn't play Stoneforge Mystic. There's no way I would have ever been able to answer a Batterskull. That's not true. Batterskull would have just been the end of me that game. Thanks, Watsy. Thanks, Aaron Forsyth. Thanks, Ian Duke. Those are the folks that get to make those decisions. If you're not going to give me Batterskull, at least ban Tron. Please. Just pick one. Pick one. Give me toys or take away theirs. Blue-White Control was the most played deck in Day 2 of Grand Prix Prague. Played the most represented archetype among players who had 3 buys, which means those players had the best tiebreakers, and it failed to top 8 the tournament. You can therefore draw your own conclusions based on that information about whether or not Blue-White Control is good. We are 1-0. We're currently down a game against Tron. We don't know what the Day 2 conversion rate is, Jack. They don't provide starting metrics for Grand Prix almost ever. The fact that they did for the South American Grand Prix was the exception, not the rule. If we knew conversion rates about modern decks, we'd be able to draw lots of really good conclusions from the multitude of events that we have. I think this hand's a keep. It's very aggressive. It's turn 1 Soul-Scar Mage, turn 2 9U, turn 3 like Snap Bolt 5U. I mean, opinions on 8-Whack. I think 8-Whack is a very reasonable, cheap, aggressive deck. Yeah, if Urza lands and Valakuts were... Can we just, like, power level a lot of them to be legendary? Stream Decker is updated. Stream Decker is broken on mobile. So mobile Stream Decker does not update. Unless you clear the app cache currently. Can I start a new conspiracy that Ian Duke won't unban Stoneforge Mystic because his brother loves Jund and it's good against Jund? Is it even that good against Jund? Jund has so many ways to interact with that. Alright, if we flip to a counterspell here, we should be in a good spot. If we don't flip to a counterspell, there's still a chance we could be okay. K-Command, Push, Bolt, Thought Seize, right? Like, there's so many axes on which you can interact with Stoneforge Mystic and Batter Skull. Yeah, Scapeshift would still work if Valakut was legendary. Primeval Titan would be much worse, though. Much, much worse. Alright, well, we don't know that they have the third Tron piece, but I've met Tron players before, so we know they have the third Tron piece. Yep. I'm just gonna snap Wizard Lightning and push as much damage as possible here. Just need to try and get under them. I haven't seen any of our counter spells this game, so basically it's gonna be a bad burn deck. So, flipping to Bolts is lethal. Better than Jeskai control is a low bar. It's not one you should aspire to be. That was the best draw on our deck. Oh, alright, they're at 9. Tribal Lightning Bolts, Chip. What's our timeout policy say about stupid opinions misaligned with I need an example, Burgle. I need an example. Alright, we've got, what, 6 live draws in our deck here? Watch us draw the Abrade that was almost a Burst Lightning. When in doubt, time them out. That's a good motto. I can live with that one. Why you have to be a tease? Okie doke. You can time that out, Burgle. I mean, if we remand the Ulamog here and they have nothing, we kill them with Snapcaster, right? Oh no! I saw the line. Magic's fun. Six draws, 6 draws, 6 draws. You've had, what, like 4 shots at 6 draws now? Right on time. Alright, hold up my cancel here. Things that don't prevent Lightning Bolt from killing you next turn for 100. We're countering, like, exactly Thragtusk here. Anything else can just come on down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. the top 2 cards of our deck were lethal. Regardless of if this was the top or this was the top, there was a lethal card on top of our deck. Life sucks and then you die. At least they didn't play Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, it's such good television. That's such good television. Ain't that? That's just the best. I'll be damned if that isn't good television. Oh, one of those was exited by Snapcaster. You're right. You're right. You're right. Watsy didn't hit the button. They held it down for the entire match. That's how it goes, chat. Sometimes you lose games where like the only meaningful decision you made was the opening hand you kept and how you sideboarded. Like that's just how Magic goes. Pretty sure I have to bottom that. We just like need another land here. Man, my body is ready to get like Blood Mooned out of this game. Oh, it's this. Alright, so I think this is a game. I think we're currently in this role. I don't think this is winnable as a control matchup without things like Staticaster and Magma Spray and Surgical out of the board. So I'm pretty sure we just need to kick it into bad burn deck mode and just like run them down. I don't know about great. Like, their deck has some, like, really powerful nut draws, but I do think we have, like, tools to be competitive here for sure. Yeah, they do have a slow start. These are the starts that we can capitalize on for certain. Burgle, you're such a goddamn savage. Do I have any good suggestions for you? Try some new decks. Practice a bunch of things. Try a bunch of different things. I'm doing all right, extras. It's been a fun morning. We've laughed, we've cried. You know, at least I felt something. At least I felt something. I'd rather feel something than nothing at all, chat. I'd rather feel something than nothing at all. This a Collective Brutality. Another Hangerback Walker shirt. Yeah, we've won way more matches today than we won yesterday. We're 1-1 in this league. We 2-3'd the one before this, and we 3-2'd the one before that. Bridgevine's actually really sweet. We've played Bridgevine a bunch on stream, and it has a lot of really interesting decision points, in my opinion. There's a ton of sequencing choices. The mulliganing decisions are super pivotal in the opponent's deck. How much for some Linkin Park acapella? I don't know. I definitely could do that. But in the end, does it even matter? Getting a fund for Jeff to sing some Linkin Park. Alright, so sprays, surgicals, staticasters, spell snares, and remands are bad. Gosh, it looks like it's almost like the person that designed this deck. It's almost like the person that put this list together thought about this matchup. Look how clean that was, chat. Wash yourself off with that and be happy about it. So clean, so clean, so clean. So, Rowan, for formats outside of Modern at this current point in time, I'm only doing them as very large donations. So, non-Modern formats are just a lot less popular. They have less viewer numbers, less engagement overall. So, need to be monetarily worth it for me in another manner. So, usually I look for $100 donations to play formats that I normally don't play. How updated is the Just Getting Here list? I updated the list on the website last week when I added it to the site. This hand doesn't have any of our sideboard cards in it, but we could definitely be in a position to race with like our Delver and our Soul-Scar Mage. Oh, mathematic. I think decks that can kill their opponents on the second and third turn of the game are great. Is the EDF deck in the queue Elder Deep Fiend? Of course. Of course. That is some technology. We are gonna have an uphill on this one. And Soul-Scar Mage does live through it. You're not wrong. Probably dead here. I don't know, like, is Dark Blast good generically right now? Like, think about the top decks that exist in Modern. Which ones do you make a compelling case that I want Dark Blast against? Like, are there any? You can kind of answer your question, right? So like if I pull up Fish here and go to metagame Modern, don't really want Dark Blast here, don't want it 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 here. I guess it's okay here. It's okay here. Don't want it here. Don't want it here. It's fine against here. There's really aren't a lot of good Dark Blast matchups in the format. Dark Blast can team up with Lavamancer to beat on humans. Pro tip: you don't need bonus points with your Grim Lavamancer to beat up on humans. Oh, they hit a second bridge. Oh, they had a second bridge in their hand. Yeah, we're pretty dead at this point. I have no desire to branch out into other formats of Magic. So there are... I quite literally have a list of decks that currently has 78 decks on it that are all Modern decks. There is not a shortage of modern content to be had while still having plenty of variety. There is very little reason for me to branch out. Oh, that's true. There is a vintage deck at the bottom there. Sure. 77 modern decks. It kills champions and lieutenants for a very, very small and narrow window. This doesn't have any threats, and it doesn't have a surgical or a Staticaster, so I'm gonna mulligan. Sounds like not amazing, but it's fine. Most of our hands are sat against Dark Blast. I don't think we can really mulligan with that in mind. Not generically. You can fill out the form with anything you might be willing to submit. I evaluate decks individually a lot of the time. Got to work towards the horse. Power Mine Tower. Thank you for the 2-month resubscription. I assume you Tron-loving individual you. In for a third land. Dark Blast. What if it costs 2? What if it costs 2 mana and gave -2/-2? Need to clone myself. At least they didn't cast Stoneforge Mystic. I've got that going for me. At least Stoneforge Mystic wasn't the card they cast there. The Stoneforge Mystic would be incredibly unfair. Adjusting your deck list because you had a bad beat against a deck that's a very small percentage of the format is a great way to make your deck very, very bad. You shouldn't make sweeping changes to your deck list because you feel bad about a match that you lost. Modern's a format where there's so many different decks that if you change your deck every time you lose to something that's random, you're going to make your deck really worse on average by just making all these random changes because, like, you happen to get unlucky. No matter what your deck is, you're never going to win 100% of your matches. That's not how Magic works. Like, Magic's game's got a lot of variance by design. How we doing, folks? Welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. We're hanging out playing some Modern today. We're currently playing some Blue-Red Tempo in this league. If you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here day in and day out. I wouldn't be here without their very wonderful support. If you're one of the many people in the world who has Amazon Prime, if you link your Amazon account to your Twitch account, you get Twitch Prime included with that for free. And Twitch Prime gives you a free channel subscription every single month to a channel of your choice here on Twitch. Even if you don't want to support my content with it, make sure you go and give that to somebody if you have Amazon Prime, because that's taking dollar dues out of Bezos' pockets and putting them into smaller content creators. Navier, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. Speaking of, welcome. Past subscribing to support my content, you can also support me by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn some of your cards into other cards direct with other players. There's no haggling. They just take 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Stratocaster, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome. Inked Gaming does custom playmats, mousepads, binders, bags, all sorts of stuff like that. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on cards with them. And of course, this stream is made possible by viewers like Anoronics, Justin Nivik, and all y'all out there. Thanks for hanging out. Having a bit of a rough run here with the Blue-Red Tempo deck in this league. You 5-0'd the last one, but you can't 5-0 all of them. Lost a close set against Tron. Died in a blaze to Bridgevine. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. The Professor Shill video is A+. Fantastic. You have to pay/do something for linking by Amazon Prime. Nope. If you pay for Amazon Prime, it is completely free to link it to your Twitch account. Costs you absolutely nothing extra. Gives you a free channel subscription every single month on Twitch. Perfect. This hand is definitely looking for threats. I got myself a playmat with a Blood Moon-ish design from Inked Gaming, and I'm loving it. Awesome. Sweet. I'm glad you're enjoying that. I am very surprised that our Delver didn't die. Do they have a Collective Brutality here? Against Blackcleave Cliffs, Delver is usually not long for this world. Perfect. Alright, there's a pause on my upkeep. Is he dead? Is he dead? They could, like, have the bolt or the push here, and they just, like, wanted to get the information from it flipping. Yeah, that's true, too. When Twitch Prime will no longer make all of Twitch ad-free, but subscribers on my channel do not see normal Twitch ads, because y'all already support me, so... Oh. Okay. So Spell Snare is not particularly good here against Living End. Nimble Obstructionist, however, is fantastic. Listen, if you have an Amazon phone, if you have an Android phone or an Apple phone, they already know everything you're saying. So you have no privacy if you already have those devices. So pucker up. I didn't bolt them at the end step there because they could Violent Outburst in response, killing my Delver. Basically just want to leave Nimble Obstructionist Stifle up. So that way I can stifle a Cascade trigger. Yep. Uncounterable. Stifle your Cascade trigger. This is a bad matchup. No, I think this matchup's very good for us. We have efficient disruption and a decent clock. Like, I'm like, at this point, if they kill our creature, we can just, like, burn them out, right? Like, they're at 11 and we have 12 in our hand. Also, Stifle Bird later comes back into play. Yep, all of the deck lists on my website are my most recent iteration. That's quite literally the point of the website. Is a Murloc. Thank you very much for the brand new Prime support there. I appreciate that. Welcome. We also have copies of Remand in our deck, which are very good in this matchup. No, we really can't race Arcfiend Ifner. And also, like... Best tribe in Modern, chat. Tribal Lightning Bolts. Best tribe in Modern. God bless that Delver flipping. Got in those points we needed. And this game is a phenomenal example of why I think this is the best interactive deck in Modern. Imagine if we were something like Jeskai or Black Green Rock, and like we had all these removal spells were Path to Exiles or Fatal Pushes or like one of the multitude of other cards that don't really do anything against a combo deck like this. That is why this deck is great, because your removal doubles as reach, which is really powerful. Lightning Bolt is a very good card. All right, so Surgical's kind of medium in this matchup. Maybe I don't want to bring them in. What do we think? I think I need one cut here, and it's certainly one of these. It's one of these three cards. So am I cutting the second Surgical, the second Lavaman, or the second Burst Lightning? I almost feel like it's the Surgical. Like, taking one of their creatures usually doesn't matter. Although I guess we kind of pressure them efficiently, so they're forced to go off early, which can make Surgical better. Yeah, I'm going to cut the Lavaman. Dispel for Ricochet Trap. Nah, I think that's narrow. I guess it also counters Beast Within, which is nice. Gosh, this hand is so good with the blue source. We're up a game. Here's the actual facts. Most of our hands aren't fast enough on the draw. Why do we care if the deck's tier 1? Most things in Modern are just tier playable, and that's okay. You should not have kept that hand, believe it or not. It's fine. Even a lot of good hands just die on the draw. Tears are overrated, yep. Huh. So, one Surgical is not amazing, but on the back of Snapcaster Mage, it might be okay here. I actually don't think this opener is that good for reference. Any Remand or Nimble Obstructionist is like definitely better. This hand has no way to actually interact with their combo access. I don't know the answer to that question, Delver guy. If I knew the answer to that question, I would be able to tell you. This is definitely going to be an Ambush Viper. So give me some flexibility to kind of plan out here. They have Kari Zev's Expertise and a Living End in their hand. And Anger of the Gods. It's good to know about. They don't have second red at the moment, though. Delver guy, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. And they have a Jun Charm, which is a sweeper. They have a couple of Rough Tumbles. Pretty couple of Ricochet Traps. Oh, I forgot to take a screenshot. Dead Gone. Yeah, Dead Gone. Definitely said Rough Tumble. Magic Online has 9 hours of downtime tomorrow morning. So I likely will not be streaming tomorrow. The client's not supposed to be back up until like 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. All right, need to hit a remand or a negate. I believe we are dead. Shell for Arena. Nope. Zero desire to do that. I'll probably go to the gym and play Warhammer on my tablet for a while. I'm planning to do a double on Friday. I think Friday we're going to do like a 10 or 12 hour stream to make up for my lack of hours on Wednesday, because I don't want the donation queue to get too large. This card for card run back from today. I believe so. I don't do 24-hour streams. How am I playing Warhammer on a tablet? There is a new Warhammer card game that released at Gen Con that's currently in closed beta for their mobile client. I have a physical TCG component and a digital TCG component as well. Demonic Firefly, thank you for the 2-month resub there. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's definitely the best new card game I've played in a long time. Oh my god, my morning hug Landale will be gone. We'll put these towards landfall aggro. Sounds good, Fall. And we might get to landfall on Thursday. Well, so, you know, as a person who's good at, you know, dissecting things that aren't and not being result based, you know, we had the old 5-0 into the 1-3, so 6 and 3 overall. Yeah, I still don't know about the Soul-Scar Mages. I think if you want to be conservative, stick to the list that's on my website. The more I play this deck, the more I think these surgicals in the sideboard, like my original gut that these aren't good enough, is probably correct. You should probably just like hope to dodge the graveyard decks or hope to get a little bit lucky against them. I might update the stock list on my site cutting the surgicals. Card's been really underwhelming. I think, yeah, and Burgle's right. Like, Modern has a lot of matchup variance in it, right? I don't think Tron is that bad of a matchup for this deck, Burgle. For reference, like, we had, what, like 6 draws and half a dozen outs to kill them in the second game? This isn't really an aggressive, this isn't really a mid-range deck, Burgle. This is an aggressive deck. Now, Tormod's Crypt, okay, here's the best way to explain. Here's the best way to explain graveyard hate to people that don't get it. If you think your deck, I'm gonna make up numbers. These are made up numbers. Let's say you think your deck is a terrible graveyard matchup. You have a terrible Dredgevine matchup. So let's say you think you're 25% to beat Dredgevine game 1. Do you know how many pieces of graveyard hate you need in your sideboard to bring that to a 50% matchup in the postboard games? If you think you're 25% to win game 1, and you need to see a piece of graveyard hate in the postboard games to make it worth your while, you need 4+ pieces of graveyard hate to even begin to see it consistently. And then On top of that, you need everything else to go well on top of seeing it. Like, seeing it doesn't even account for games where you flood, games where you screw, like all that sorts of stuff. I feel like a lot of people don't give up matches in Modern often enough. Too many people spend too many slots in their sideboards in Modern trying to make unwinnable matchups 50% matchups at the cost of making a significant number of other matchups that are decent and even much worse. I literally just said I was making up numbers, Jack. Literally just said I was making up numbers. And again, I feel like these cards don't swing those matchups in a heavy way. I also don't like how narrow this slot is. Like, because this deck isn't destroying lands, this deck can't bring Surgical in against something like Tron. So, like, in a deck like Black-Green Rock, for example, that's a deck that has Field of Ruin and Fulminator Mage, so Surgical is not just graveyard hate in that deck, it's also a card that lets you take away their Tron lands, so it's more flexible in a deck like that. We cut Vendilion Click from this deck because, in my opinion, Nimble Obstructionist is the better 3-drop, and I don't have room for more than 4 3-drops when I add Soul-Scar Mage and cut lands from my deck. So, if you haven't seen this deck played before, you should go to jeffhoagland.com/decklist. And under the high potential, there is a blue-red tempo archetype. There's a deck list there that has 6 3-drops in it, which includes 2 Vendilion Clicks. Again, just a friendly reminder.